What's up, Body Rockers? Coach Jay, and we're back on the mats. And if you're showing up today, whatever is in your ear telling you, man, I'm tired, man, I'm sore, whatever it is, and you ignored that and you're on your mats, give yourself a little props. Absolutely. Take that right hand and just do that, you know, because it takes a lot sometimes. Not every day you feel like pets and ready to go. So if you're out there killing it, keep killing it. I'm with you. Let's warm up because we're going to get into some strength work. You're going to need your kettlebell. If you don't have a kettlebell, grab yourself a set of dumbbells or a single dumbbell that's heavy enough that you can get some pause squats going. And then we're going to do some RDLs, which stands for Romanian deadlift. Not as important to remember the name as the setup, which we'll go through after the warm up. And then this midsection, we're going to get some work in today for sure. Okay, so top of the mats, let's get a little warm up in. I'm really feeling the inchworm to world's greatest progression, so that's what I'm going to go for. Go ahead and join me. Walk the hands up to a high plank, hamstrings opening up, and then we're warming up the shoulders as we walk the hands up. I'm going to let those toes down. I'm going to drop my hips. I'm going to lift the thighs up, get a little deeper, and then I'm going to shoulder check right and left. And then we're going to cycle into our world's greatest from here. So bring the toes back into a high plank, right leg forward, and then let's tap that knee before we twist if those hip flexors are a little tight. So we're going to go up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That feels so good. Knee down, right hand reaches underneath the left armpit. You already know. And we rotate up. 3, let's go 2 more. Total of 5. And hey, listen, if you need more of this world's greatest because you're feeling some kind of way, get it. I'll wait for you. Left foot comes forward. Okay, right knee taps up for the hip flexors, the quads. We go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leave it there. Left hand reaches under the right. Take the twist up. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Into a high plank position from here, scapular push-ups. So notice, elbows are locked out, tailbone's tucked, chin tucked in. I'm going to slide my shoulder blades together and push away for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees underneath the hips, thoracic rotation. So right hand behind the head, press the head into the hand so you can feel it kind of activate through the mid-back. I'm going to take my elbow to my other elbow. I'm going to exhale and rotate up, try and touch the ceiling. Let's go 1 more. Yes, beautiful. Let's switch sides. How about this sun? Absolutely delicious. It's been such an incredible fall wherever you are in the world. I hope you're also enjoying some nice warm fall weather. 1 more. Beautiful. Okay, from here, slide back, give yourself a little bit more room if you need to. Bird dog. Really important here, tuck the tailbone, chin's in, ribs are in, and we're gonna extend opposite hand and leg, holding for 5, 4, feel that hamstring light up, 3, 2, and 1. Good, switching. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice last one here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Everyone loves a band, okay? So get your band, grab it. We're just gonna do a little bit of clamshelling. That's right. I made it into a verb. Clamshelling. And I'm gonna warm up those glute meats because we're gonna be doing some pause squats, which are always spicy. So best to get those glutes extra warm. All right, from here, make sure your knees are forward a little bit. Use the edge of your shoes to kind of pivot on, and then you can kind of go full Jane Fonda if you want. Just put your head down. Good, now notice I wanna lock my hip in, okay? So I don't wanna let my hip rock back. I wanna just open the knees as much as the glute will contract to pulso versus rocking that hip to get extra distance. Good. Let's go 4, 3, total of 10 each side. 2, last one. Beautiful. All right, style points for switching sides on the mat. You see this on my first rodeo. Get soles of the feet together, pin the hip, and you might notice a difference side to side. 9, 8, that left side just 7, 6, doesn't love it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely job. Last set. We're gonna do a forward monster walk. So I want you to imagine you're skating, okay? So I want you to push past your mat and then nice and wide. Past my mat, nice and wide. Past my mat, nice and wide. Let's go back. So really keep the hips pushing backwards as you step. Excellent. Again. Push, push, push. Good. This glute should be nice and warm by now. Good. One more lap. Using that mat sort of as a guide of how wide you can stretch those legs. If your band is really heavy, you know, Godspeed to you. Might be a little bit more uncomfortable than mine is, but hey, we work with what we can work with. I lied to you. I said one more lap, but like, it's so good. This will be the last one. Top of the mat, and band can go off. Nicely done. Okay, time to grab your equipment. Get your water bottles, whatever you need to do. Tie your shoelace again, because elementary school was a long time ago. Clearly I did a terrible job of this in the first place. All right, clock is on, team. We're going 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, okay? The classic, but with the first movement, I want you to go slow, okay? So we're gonna pause, you're gonna set the squat, and there's two options you can do this in. Option one, you can hit the goblet, okay? Option two, you can hit the bottoms up, okay? But when you come down into your depth, you're gonna tuck your tailbone, keep the ribs in, take a deep breath, drop the hips and hold, okay? Now I don't wanna see this, okay? So try not to fold in that squat position, all right? We tuck, we brace, we hit depth, we hit the hardest point of tension, and we're gonna pause for 3 seconds before we come up, okay? And then the RDL, feet underneath the hips, toes pointing forward, all right? And then what we're focusing on doing is keeping our knees behind the kettlebell. So once I brought the kettlebell up to my starting position, I'm gonna engage my lats, ribs in, tailbone tucked, press my feet into the floor, slide my hips back, keeping that kettlebell nice and close to my body, but I want the kettlebell to go straight line down. So I gotta get those knees behind it, versus this, forward and around, okay? That will change the path of the kettlebell. And we know the shortest distance is straight line, baby. Okay, all right. So because the sun is shining on me, I'm gonna start sweating here like in a real way. We're just gonna get rid of that, start the clock, and start with our pause squats. You guys ready? Yes, let's go. Oh, jeez. He's speedy. I'm gonna try that bottoms up. Breath in, hold, 3, 2, 1. Shh, drive the floor away. 3, 2, 1. Shh. 3, 2, 1. Shh. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We got 10 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Right to the clock. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, so notice the difference in the stance for the squat. Feet are a little wider than the hips, toes out. For that RDL, right under the hips, okay? All right, picking up that kettlebell, starting from the top, lats on, hips back. And notice that we're not going all the way to the floor. I'm hitting that maximum depth, I'll show you from the side as well, of where my hamstring flexibility dictates that movement, and then pulling through. I'm almost like thinking, oh, I'm gonna fall backwards, right? That's kind of what we're thinking here. Beautiful. Nice and smooth, as many as you can. Keep the tailbone tucked under, okay? So creating this tension here. Sliding the hips back, feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, and then squeezing the bum to pull the hips through. Okay, as promised, we've got some core to do. So we're gonna do a high plank drag through, all right? If you're on your hardwood at home, just go nice and light and slow, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna start with the kettlebell beside me. I'm gonna take my opposite hand. and pull that kettlebell across. Sliding it along the floor will help you from kind of banging around with that kettlebell, pissing your neighbors off. I think like during COVID, 2021, 2020, like people were like pissing their neighbors off left, right, and center. Everyone's home became a gym, didn't it? Nice. How do we make sure that our hips aren't moving around all over the place? If you guys remember, I talk a lot about pushing your foot into the floor on the side that you lift the hand. Give that a try next round if your hips are moving. All right, Russian twist. We did a little anti-rotation. Let's hit some rotation. Slight lean back, tailbone tucked, and then you can absolutely do this on body weight as well. Good. Next, try and relax the shoulders as much as you can. Biceps are getting a little bit of work here as well, isometrically. And then I'm leaving my feet down because it's important for me that I'm not swinging my legs all over the place. And I can elevate them, but then, you know, I'm also working to keep them from moving around. So whatever suits you, all right? It's not crucial to elevate those legs. Beautiful. Nice and strong, well done. Hitting those squats again, okay, round two. We know what to kind of expect, very suspecting. We know what to expect from this next round, okay? So rack it, and let's go to work. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Last one, hit it. 3, 2, 1. Well done, body rockers. Kettlebell comes down. We go from glutes and quads to glutes and hamstrings. So for your RDL, make sure that you're really feeling the hamstring quite a bit, almost like a stretching sensation, okay? That's how you know a little check that you're doing it right. Hips back and squeeze. Hips back and squeeze. Kettlebells are an awesome progression to getting comfortable with barbells. Same with dumbbells, right? So you can get a beautiful deadlift going once you have good form with kettlebells on a barbell. Doing an RDL with a barbell definitely changes it, but this is where you can start, and depending on the kettlebell, you can progress to a nice heavy RDL or double kettlebell RDL as well if you don't have access to your barbell. So all these movements are progressive, which is super important, right? As much as we commit to showing up, we should be committing to getting better. Progression is key. All right, you guys ready? Do we like this one? I find sometimes still things really difficult, just mentally. I'm like, I just want to move. So I find that there's a really good level of discipline I try to have when I'm in movements that are more still or slow. It's like I can't force myself to, or I can't rush through it. I have to force myself to slow down, right? Nice, and then practicing pushing that foot in and pulling across. You can experiment with how far away from your body it goes, if you can keep that plank integrity. One more, and Russian twist. All right, pivot into that seated position. Again, toes up, toes down, that's up to you, right? As long as the form's good and you're trying your best, I'm happy. Coach Jay is happy. All right, here we go. 30 seconds left. Just adjusting my grip. She's getting sweaty over here in Van City. Van Sweaty. Good, we got 10 seconds here. Stay with me. Nice. 7 seconds, crew. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. All right, flipping it around. We got our last round here. 8 seconds. Whoo, do you see that? We listen. Isn't that a nice way of saying you're sweaty? You know, honestly, I love being sweaty. I don't have any problem with it at all. In fact, I've crafted my entire lifestyle around maximum opportunities to be as sweaty as possible. Good, stay in those pause squats. Pressing the floor away. Think about your chest driving up, all right? Especially as you're getting tired, this can happen, all right? So I'm thinking about keeping my chest driving up towards the ceiling. Last one, crew. Drop down and drive. Beautiful. Okay, we're getting into those hamstrings. Nice work. Stay with me. Remember, lats are a super important part of those deadlifts as well, right? So I wanna pull those shoulders back. Even though that kettlebell is in front of me, I'm creating that connection of the kettlebell to my body using my lats. And you will get so much out of these movements. A full posterior chain. I'm sure you've heard that terminology. Beautiful. Last 2 movements after this, right? That's all it takes. You just show up, you hang out with us, you get yourself on the mat, and next thing you know, you're done. One more. Beautiful. Okay, core time, baby. Let's go. Quick sip of water. You don't have a ton of time, but if your body's calling for it, get it. Setting up that plank, shoulders over wrists. A little wider feet will help stabilize your plank. Nice, crew, stay with me. You're almost there. One more movement after this. Hard part's over. 15 seconds left on the clock. You are strong today, but just think, not as strong as you will be tomorrow. Right to the bell. Beautiful work. Flip it, grip it, and rip it. Russian twist are next. It's funny how like all the scary movements, the ones that really burn, are all like Eastern European or something, right? The Bulgarians and the split squats, the Russian twist, the Romanian deadlifts. All right, we sweaty now. That kettlebell be slipping and sliding. That's it, 20 seconds. Right to the bell, crew, you got this. If you're like me and you're slipping, just set the grip and go. Don't think, don't use this as an excuse to stop. You're already here, and we're in our final few reps. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Thanks, mate. And time. Let's do a nice little core stretch here because my body's calling for it, and I can imagine yours is too. So same as where we started. Let's just hit that up dog. Shoot the chest up through, drop the hips. Nice deep breath. Beautiful, push back into a child's pose. And we're just gonna reach those hands out. Let that chest fall through. The shoulders, the lats, flaring out to the side, making space. And then slowly we'll sit up on the heels and just take a deep breath of, hell yeah, I just did that. Let's go. Body Rockers, it was a pleasure, and I will see you on the mat next time. Coach Jay signing out.